my name is Shywann Horne. I'm from Ware County FCCLA Level 3.
Hi, my name is Holton, and I am also from Ware County FCCLA Level 3. Today we're going to be talking to you about mental health and how different factors such as stress and behavior can affect children through adolescence, mental stability, and development. By definition, mental health is the level of psychological well-being or an absence of mental illness.
With that being said, we would be also adding in childhood development because mental health affects the overall development in adolescence. Adolescence is birth to the age of 22.
Stress from different factors in a child's daily life leads to behavioral disorders. Stress and behavioral disorders combined lead to the development delays necessary for a child's growth. Leading into stress, by definition, stress is the degree to which you feel overwhelmed or unable to cope as a result of pressures that are unmanageable. Different factors can lead to stress, such as environmental factors and continuous partial attention. Environmental factors is basically where you grow up and how you were raised. If you grow up in poverty, in a home of neglect, or maternal depression and abuse, it can have lasting effects that you can take with you for the rest of your life. This trauma leads to stress because you are thinking, why me? Why can't I be the perfect child like these other kids that I go to school with? Or why can't I be perfect in my job? Is it how I was raised? Is it how I grew up? And it overall it's stress that you carry with you throughout the rest of your life. And another factor, continuous partial attention, is commonly used to describe the division of mind between a parent on their phone and a child wanting attention. Today, more than ever, we are constantly on our phones, and it has been seen in parents more than it is kids today, as parents who go home want to unwind and they don't want to think about their job, so they think the best distraction could be their phone, whether it's playing a game or watching a show on their phone. But they're not paying attention to the child that is screaming for their attention in the background. And this often leads to parents getting angry and causing abuse to their kids because they think that their child is just misbehaving and won't leave them alone, when really they just need that love and care, because it affects their social, emotional development and their cognitive development, because again, they're thinking, why can't someone pay attention to me? Why can't I be the perfect kid? Your body physically reacts to stress. And when under stress, the body releases a steroid hormone known as cortisol. And cortisol can lead to health problems such as high blood pressure, headaches, acne and skin issues, and weak muscles. And that's just a few off of the list. And these health problems stress can ultimately lead to mental health problems, development issues, anxiety, and personality disorders, such as cardiovascular disease, heart disease, high blood pressure, and stroke.
Just like Sarah had mentioned, your body reacts physically, your body will also act mentally. There's a part in your brain under the thalamus called the hypothalamus. It controls your mood swings, your moods, overall moods, your anger, your sadness, your happiness, and your sexual desires. By definition, behavior is the way in which one acts or conducts themselves, especially towards others. If, like Sarah said, if you also grow in an abusive house, a poverty house, you're going to be so stressed because you don't fit in. And since you don't fit in, you're going to try your hardest to fit in. Then also, with that being said, there's different disorders you can get just from overall stress. You can get ADHD, depression, bipolar disorders, and learning disorders. Bipolar is really talked about nowadays because it's really saying that you're happy one moment and sad one moment. It's not really that. It's more of that you're trying to socially be there for people, or you're just trying to socially fit in. And a crucial part of adolescence is that socially part of development. Sometimes you're going to be happy, sometimes you're going to be sad. Then when you're sad, you're trying to figure out why. You can't figure out why. Sometimes you're going to be happy and overall just happy. And then one moment you're so stressed out that you don't want to do anything. And with that being said, there's different symptoms of stress that leads to behavioral. Your appetite, it can either increase or decrease. Procrastination and avoiding responsibilities. It's not really avoiding responsibilities, it's that you're so stressed you don't know where to start, you don't know how to finish, so you just keep sitting there thinking, what do I do next? What do I do next? But you're stressing yourself out instead of thinking of ways to calm your stress down. You can write a list, you can plan something, you can start ABC order or 1, 2, 3 order. And when you're so stressed, you want to release it, sometimes you pick the bad behavior. You can go from drinking no alcohol a day to drinking a whole bottle, to drinking just overall drinking, or just doing drugs. And cigarettes are always that title of releasing stress. And when you release stress through a cigarette, you're choosing bad behavior. With that comes a lot of responsibilities, and that also affect your development.
So as far as action, we conducted surveys within the community from people who work with children through adolescence and who know the effects of mental health. And I conducted a survey with a school counselor. And basically it's just asking how they feel about mental health and how they see different behaviors in their jobs and how they deal with it and cope with it. And for me, getting a survey from a school counselor will help me in my future career, because I need to know, even though I won't be a school counselor, I still plan to work in the elementary school as a teacher, and I need to know when to look for these signs of stress and behavior instead of just thinking that the child is acting out. I need to know that these are symptoms of mental health instability and that the child needs to receive help.
I also conducted a survey. This is doing with the juvenile correctional sergeant. I mainly focused on the outcome of the stress, so basically the behavior. And it was seen that most times they're so stressed out, they're coming from different places, their development problems. And I say problems, it's not really a problem, it's a thing that we don't understand. Working with this person on their survey, it was basically saying that mental health in that type of workplace is based off of behavior. And it's, to be in there is bad behavior. It's taking the time of not sitting here and understanding why. Why is the biggest question that everybody tries to answer. Sometimes we don't have an answer. If we sit here and think about what's causing it, aka the stress, what's leading to it, aka the behavior, and what's in the process, it's either the development or the outcome or the environment, just like stress mentioned. And you're probably thinking, why do we need to focus on adolescence? Because if you don't focus now, it's going to lead really bad into your adulthood. Again, adolescence is birth to the age of 22. If you do not figure out what's going on now and you lead to your adult life, it's just going to be worse. You're not getting an answer. So since you're not getting an answer, you're going to stress out. You're going to sit here and try to figure out why I'm not perfect. And when you're trying to figure out why I'm not perfect, you're going to try to behave perfectly, but you don't have to. So overall, we need to get the understanding of how behavior, stress, and development corresponds with mental health. Mental health is the big picture here.
While we learned a lot through this project, we also had some problems that we had to overcome. And one of the biggest problems was this year and the pandemic. Everything is virtual. And it is so hard for us to get our message out to parents, which we really want to strive to reach parents and help them understand that this is a problem and you don't always see it in your kid unless something major happens, and you don't always see the symptoms in your kid. But had everything not been virtual, we would have reached out to different schools and gave flyers for children to take home to their parents. And we have also planned to host a meeting with the Ware Children's Initiative, which will have to be virtual, but because it is virtual, we haven't been able to do it yet. But the Ware Children's Initiative consists of counselors and law enforcement and mental health workers and just anybody in the community who deals with children who we can reach this message out to. And Had this not been our problem, we would have been able to do all this already, but we do still plan to hold the meeting, and hopefully we can get our flyers out and still deliver this message to parents.
And with that being said, we also need to make sure May is recognized as Mental Health Awareness Month. It goes to show that not a lot of people believe that mental health is a big problem, but it is. So I just hope that you, your community, and our community can sit here and come up with different ways of trying to understand a child, not just always labeling them as a crybaby, for example. I just hope that you take the time and understand.
Thank you.
Thank you.